someone exactly like my husband to lead us through the reefs and currents that lie ahead. I know John. You can trust his hand at the wheel. But you know something? What I've always thought, it's a good idea to have a woman's hand on the wheel as well. So how about that, Governor Sarah Palin? John has picked a reform-minded, hockey-momming, basketball shooting, moose hunting, salmon fishing, pistol-packing mother of 5 for vice president. As a fellow hockey mom myself and a Western conservative mother, I couldn't be prouder that John has shaken things up as he usually does. No one can get the job done alone, and that's why I'm glad John will have Governor Palin by his side. We all have to work together. Build consensus the way John has done all of his life. His leadership inspires and empowers and places ultimate success in our hands. Ronald Reagan was fond of saying, with freedom goes responsibility, a responsibility that can only be met by the individual himself. I have been witness to great service and sacrifice, to lives lived with humility and grace. In World War II, my father's B-17 was shot down. He was awarded the Distinguished Flying Cross. But he was quiet about that, never claimed to have done more than his small share, just like my husband. I think John was a hero in Vietnam. But you know something? John just thinks it was his turn. Our son Jack will graduate from the United States Naval Academy next year. 4th generation, ready to do his service. And our son Jimmy, a Lance Corporal in the Marine Corps, served honorably in Iraq. As hundreds of thousands of other young men and women just like him are doing for America and freedom everywhere. The stakes were never more clear to me. The morning I watched my son Jimmy strap on his weapons and board a bus headed for harm's way. I was born and raised in the American West, and I will always see the world through the prism of its values. My father was a true Western gentleman. He rose from hard scrabble roots to realize the American dream. With only a few borrowed dollars in his pocket and a strong back and a can-do spirit, he built a great life for his family. His handshake was his solemn oath. He looked you straight in the eye and always believed in the best of you, unless you gave him good cause not to. Modest and good-natured, He had deep roots in our American soil. He taught me life is not just about you. It's also about nurturing the next generation, preparing a better world for all of our children, and helping them find the right way up. We all come to that knowledge in different ways. For me, the great moment of clarity was when I became a mother. Something changed in me. I would never see my obligations the same way again. It was after that I was walking through the streets of Dhaka, Bangladesh, surrounded by terrible poverty and the devastation of a cyclone. All around me were the children and the desperate faces of their mothers. The pain was overwhelming, and I felt helpless. But then I visited an orphanage begun by Mother Teresa, and two very sick little girls captured my heart. There was something I could do. I could take them home, and so I did. Today, both of those little girls are healthy and happy, and one of them you just met tonight, our beautiful daughter, Bridget. Much is expected of a country as blessed as America, and our people are at work all over the globe, making it a better planet, doing their part. It was my privilege to work with the men and women of the American voluntary medical teams in places like Zaire, Micronesia, Vietnam, watching as they relieved whole towns from disease and rescued countless children from sickness. The reward for sharing in that work is truly indescribable. To see a child rescued from a life in the shadows by Operation Smile is to witness and share a joy that is life-changing. And the challenges go on. I just returned from the Republic of Georgia, where Halo Trust, an organization specializing in the clearing of the debris of war, are rescuing innocent victims from landmines and missiles. Sometimes the courage of others leaves me breathless. I only need to speak the word Rwanda, and the images it conjures up are beyond description. In my box tonight is Ernestine, a woman, a friend, a mother like myself, whom I met in Kigali. She suffered unimaginable horrors and was made to watch appalling havoc wreaked by her family. Yet as the violence in her country subsides, she doesn't seek retribution. Instead, she loves and seeks reconciliation for her people. She says simply, it's time to move on for me and my country. Ernestine, please stand up. Ernestine, your courage is humbling. Your forgiveness is healing. You are my hero. Forgiveness is not just a personal issue. It's why John led the efforts to normalize relations with Vietnam, to retrieve the MIAs, to bring closure to both sides. That's leadership, national leadership, and it's leading by example. The presidential contest will begin in earnest when this convention closes. If Americans want straight talk and plain truth, they should take a good, close look at John McCain.